Yo, welcome to another episode of Nights at the Round Table. What's going on out there? Ow! Yeah, y'all can say something too.
Hey, how's it going?
This is your boy Esquire back again for another episode of Nights at the Round Table. I'm joined by my very special guests. First off, Naji, welcome back.
What it is, everybody? It's your boy, the kid, the one and only, coming at you live from this table.
Okay. Also, we have the vocal stylings of a very special guest. First time here, our homeboy Jarvis. Welcome to the table.
Thank you for having me. First time, or long time listener, first time caller. You know what I mean? It's really good to be here.
So look, the reason that we're all here today is I know that you heard about 2 weeks ago the women did the Battle of the Sexes, the very first episode, and they gave their opinions on a couple of topics. Well, the guys are here, and so we have a couple of responses, and we're going to have some topics of our own that we're going to do. So y'all hype? Y'all ready?
Ready for the truth. We're ready for the truth.
Hell yeah. And we're going to be doing a lot of responses. We're not singling nobody out.
No one in particular.
Nobody in particular.
Not yet.
It was some foolishness that was said the last time, but we're not going to single anybody out. Very first thing is, what is everybody drinking on? Jarvis, what you got?
So I got a little Red Bull, give me hype, and then I got a beer here, just smooth it out near the end.
Are you supposed to mix those two things together?
I do what I want.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That's the name of the episode. I do what I want. Naji, what are you drinking?
I'm back again, guys, with my refrigerator water in my smart water bottle. It's a new bottle. It's not the same bottle from last week.
Okay, a little H2O. Sometimes you got to take it all the way back to zero. I understand. Me, myself, I'm drinking on a Modelo is that considered like a 40-ounce can?
That's a 22.
It's a
22. Deuce, I think the kids call it.
Oh, deuce. Yeah. Okay. Over some ice. I was judged a little bit by Jarvis when I came in with my cup of ice. But you know what? I keep my head up.
You do your own thing. I like it.
So look, we're going to jump right into it because this is going to be a very long episode. We want to do our responses, get those out of the way. Very first thing we want to say is Miss Nikki Baby and Juice and Coley were very upset when they said that black men don't cheat.
Listen closely, everybody.
Black men don't cheat.
They don't cheat.
That's really it. Jarvis, do you have anything to say about that?
I mean, other than she's wrong, I don't know. I mean,
Listen,
I'll leave it at that.
Look, if you're since you're joining us, you cannot see us. Jarvis is one of our light-skinned friends of the lighter shade, and by light-skinned I mean Caucasian. So he has a lot of good opinions, good viewpoints that we're going to be having in. And one thing that we managed to convince him of, me and Naji, is that black men don't cheat.
That's what I've always heard.
All men don't cheat.
That's a fact.
That's what it
Men
is.
don't cheat.
Men don't cheat in general. So that's all we're going to say about that. No need to go into a full discussion. Now, here's the part that really stuck out. They talked about last time threesomes and the idea of threesomes or a train. First off, do y'all think threesomes exist when it's two guys, one girl, or two girls, one guy? What do you see about that?
I think it exists. I think it's about participation. So if one person is fucking one person and then that person leaves and another person replaces them, that, my dear friends, is called a train.
So what if they're all in there together?
That's a threesome.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, three people involved at the same time. By very name, is a threesome in my opinion, right?
Hence the
I've heard the wobbly H, what do they call it, the Eiffel Tower. I mean, there's different slang terms for it when there's two dudes and one chick.
I've never heard any of those before.
Yeah,
but I love it.
Yeah. Use your imagination; you'll figure out why. But like nothing I've ever partaken in, nothing I've ever wanted to even have participation trophy for, but that's out there. People do that stuff, But still, threesome is three people at one time, three chicks, whatever,
See, my thinking is, and maybe I diverge a little bit from y'all. I always thought a threesome or a train was all about the mindset. So, like, for example, if it's you and your lady and y'all decide to bring somebody else in, naturally you wouldn't say that you're running a train on your lady or your dude, whoever you're doing, you'll call it a threesome. But if it's somebody you just don't give a damn about, like say it's some rando and you and your homeboy are doing whatever and fucking some chick, I might put that in the category of a goddamn train. I don't know.
I feel like, kind of like Naji said, the train kind of is more taking turns. One of the, you know what I mean? Like, because it's an elongated process, very much like trains on a car.
Yep.
But that's me. I'm old fashioned. What do I know?
I completely agree because I mean, calling it a train is a little more derogatory. I mean, and I imagine younger me probably called it trains.
Right.
And then I got older and was like, nah, I mean, we all fucking in the same room, so it's considered a threesome or whatever. Or you can call it a baby orgy if you want to.
A baby orgy? Okay.
We like to call that a borgy. But, I mean, I just think it's all about participation. Because, I mean, you could all be in the same room and then it's literally taking turns one at a time.
Right.
To me, that is more train-esque than threesome. But if you're all involved and everyone is touching somebody.
See, yeah, and I think that's kind of like what I was trying to say, but it didn't come out as clear as that.
It's okay.
So, like, if you're doing something with your lady and you have another person that comes in, naturally everybody's probably going to be involved in some way because you're not trying to say you're running a train.
Yeah.
But like I said, you picking some rando off the street and you maybe you're watching somebody fuck this chick or something like that. Then okay, I get what you're saying. Got it. Well, Miss Nikki Baby said that she doesn't even like to do threesomes or trains or anything like that. She would rather just do swinging. How do y'all feel about that?
I believe her actual term was yuck. She was talking about the threesome thing.
Yes.
With two Ks at the end.
With two Ks.
Yeah, right. Man, I don't know. I think that, like, if personally, I would never want to go with that, right? Like, and I will clarify this story by saying I am very deeply in love right now. I'm in a very happy relationship. So the thought of doing either of those, not about that life right now. However, I think that, like, if I had to pick, I would rather be involved.
Yes.
So if something starts to go off the rails, whatever gets a little bit too steamy, I can be, hey, let's back that up a little bit. But whereas if I'm in a whole other room and you just come back to talk about it later, like she said, I don't want to talk about
Guess
that.
what happened next door?
That
you would not believe.
It was very confusing, especially when she said, we'll go down there and you do your thing with two other people, and I do my thing. And I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily want to look across the room and see you get.
So I remember she said something about being selfish, and I am more selfish because not only do I not want to participate in the threesome, I don't want to split off and then be like, hey, you go fuck him, I'll go fuck her, and we'll come back and talk about it. Or maybe we won't. I'm okay with that. Like I don't need that to happen in my life, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So for those of you who are into it, like, please, write books. Zane makes a lot of money doing these things, but that's not my what they say.
That's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's not my judge. It's not my judge.
I think I'm right there in that camp too. I think when you start involving other people in what's supposed to be like an intimate moment or a connection between y'all, that can lead to problems. Although I am of the mindset that, depending on how you work it out with your relationship or your marriage, if you want to spice it up, you do what you gotta do, but sometimes that can lead to major problems because, like I said, if y'all going down there to the swingers den and you see you see an Eiffel Tower being performed on your girl,
Wisely H.
It's like, ooh, I don't know. That's gonna stay with me.
But if it works for you,
I'm never forgetting.
More power to you.
That image is burned in my brain. I'm done. It's over. I don't care. Like. And what kind of problems are you having that's going to fix it? You know what I mean? Like, let's just move on. Let's part friends.
He doesn't cook dinner.
Right.
So
he never takes out the trash to the den.
We're going to the den.
Yeah, to the den we go. We're going to settle this once and for all.
And if you don't want to be a part, Jacob will.
Jacob. He's the one that was wearing the jackal mask. He was wearing the jackal mask
with the cape.
All right, let's get on through here. So last thing that we're going to respond to was the whole idea of online dating. Again, not singling out anybody. I think every one of them had their own issues with online dating. Full participation. We actually have a resident specialist who found love and marriage through online dating. Naji, do you have any advice for them that they were saying about the whole yuck factor and not working?
For those of you who have been on any kind of social dating online thing, you realize that there's a bunch of creeps, male and female. So you kind of just got to wade through it. So I don't think I did anything special. I genuinely didn't. It just happened. A great songwriter once said, it's God's plan. So that's all I had to offer to it, because I wasn't out here looking for love, and neither was she. And we both talk about it very openly. It's like, we weren't out here trying to like fall in love. I believe that Smiley said that she was out there to get dinner. And I said, it's fine. So, yeah, no, everyone's going to have different situations. For every female I've ever talked to on these dating sites, it echoed what they were saying on the last episode. Mm-hmm. So I get what they're saying based off what I've heard, because it's just a whole bunch of it's just some nasty niggas out there in these streets. And it worked for me. It ain't going to work for everybody.
I think, like you said, there's a lot of creeps on both sides, but I would probably have to lean a little bit with the girls on this one. That probably a lot more male creeps.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never received a dick pic.
Nope.
I never sent one either. I'm proud to say. Mm-mm. But that's I've heard the stories, and I can't imagine trying just opening my inbox and be like, damn, what why?
Have you done? You did the online dating at all?
I used Bumble for a little while.
Okay.
Never really had. I went on a lot of first dates. Text a bunch of people that just ended up either getting ghosted or ghosting, and just I didn't really.
So you just have to be patient with it, and
not even that. I just I'm not I'm kind of old fashioned.
It's a stroke of luck.
And it's yeah, it really is. And the timing on it's got to be right. I mean, the luck is for sure. But it just wasn't my thing, man. I never really. I got it. Like I said, a couple first days, few seconds, but never anything that I was even once. And God Almighty, the amount of girls that are not their pictures. I'm not gonna call them catfishes, but
listen,
it kind of catfishes.
They talk about guys who claim that they're 6'3" and they're 5'2".
Right.
They talk about them all the time, but there's plenty of the other ones. Mm-hmm. It's ma'am, did you wear? Okay, you got a full beat for your your Tinder profile, and you don't ever wear that out anywhere else. Got it.
Well, if it's anything like what, because first off, I've never been on any of these social dating apps, at least not longer than a day, and even then, it's just I didn't even really check it. I kind of downloaded, created the profile, whatever. So, what advice do you have for someone like me who was well, maybe I might need to give it a chance to check? Jarvis is shaking his head.
I mean,
hell no.
I've had different experiences.
I don't see the point, right? I mean, you got two totally opposite ends of the spectrum.
I'm not even talking about the marriage part. I'm talking about I have had two different experiences on social stuff. I just use it as a way to meet new people.
Yeah.
So I just we would just swipe.
Yeah.
So
like Coley said last night, or on the last episode, excuse me, that I would swipe when I got bored. I wouldn't open the app for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'd get tired looking at Instagram or whatever, and then I'd see that app and be like, oh, let's see who's on here, and then laugh at the people that I knew, and then swipe woo, she fine, or whoa, what are you even doing on here? That's your first picture, really? You know what I mean? It was more I take screenshots and send it to friends. And,
I thought that was your dog.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
So it's that's not it for you.
If you did it, I know a lot more people that have had success with the actual dating websites like Match or eHarmony, things like that. I know a few people that have gotten married off of sites like that, and they're still very happy years into it. But the Tinder, the Bumble, the Plenty of Fish,
that's diving in the trash a little bit.
It's just go out. If you want to go out and have fun for a night, or if you're in a different city and you want to see somebody, you know what I mean, just meet somebody to go out with.
Gotcha.
I think it's more for that. If you're looking for something serious, you're not going to find that there. I don't think. I mean, obviously, there's exceptions to every rule, but
I like that. I like that.
I agree. I mean, I agree for the most part. I just happen to strike some luck. Mm-hmm. But I also would do a lot of driving because that was what my pastime was. And I used to
just run around and swipe.
Don't drive and swipe. But I used to swipe while I was other places, driving places. It didn't matter.
What was the site that you met your wife on?
I was only on Tinder. That was the only one I ever was on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you did Bumble.
I only did Bumble because I'm kind of old-fashioned, and I am the furthest thing away from a creep that you can be, I feel and take extra precautions to not come across that way. Mm-hmm. So the fact that Bumble, the difference there is that girls have to message you first if you match.
Gotcha.
So I felt they would be a little bit more comfortable, and it kind of, even though you matched, the interest, there was still enough interest there for her to make the first move and say hello. So I like that aspect of it.
Gotcha. The ball was in their court,
right? And you got to see if they come out. If it was just hey, you're kind of lame. Give me some spice, And then, but if they came with a fire GIF or some kind of funny pickup line, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna talk to this girl,
Okay.
It was all right.
Well, y'all convinced me that might be something I do for the winter time. Shout out to the very first episode, cuffing season. Looking for that warm leg that's out there.
You can find at least 2.
Just swipe in September. Go ahead, get started.
All right. So that's all our responses. to what the ladies had to say from 2 weeks ago. We're going to actually jump into the magic
wonton soup.
Wonton
container
soup.
of wonder.
Yes, and see what's going on. Jarvis is actually going to be our picker here, and he's
I feel
going to
honored by this. All right, we're gonna get deep in here.
That's what she said.
Oh, wait! Before we do that,
Whoa.
Before we do that, also, again, Ms. Nikki Baby was talking about going back to online dating. She said that she would swipe and match with hundreds upon thousands upon millions of guys because she wanted to date outside of her race, and she was trying to
Take it
match
out a little far. I don't think millions is what.
Well,
Okay.
you know,
Hundreds of thousands.
hundreds of thousands. I believe it was
That's
999,000.
more like it.
600 minutes.
But anyway, do you have any thoughts on why maybe white guys are not swiping back out of those hundreds of thousands?
No clue. I mean, I know Miss Nikki. She's very attractive. She's a very, very nice person. Of course, that's, I know her in person. I'm not looking at a picture.
Right.
I got to say, too, on Bumble, like they were talking about the other night, not a ton of diversity on there. You know what I mean? So,
Who knows?
I can't help her.
Yeah. Just keep swiping. Is that what it
Just
is?
keep swiping.
As Naji said, or as you said, there's an exception to every rule. You just got to find that
Swipe
one
in
exception.
September. Yeah.
All right, so we're getting back to drawing.
All right, here we go. One time container of wonder.
All right.
Here we go.
That's a long one. Is that a
This
paragraph?
is a
on
very
there?
long
It is long. In small
Okay.
writing.
So this one is the piece of paper, the chit, if you will, says women as quote unquote aggressive or quote unquote angry, while men are assertive or passionate. So I think it's referring to maybe a double standard that maybe
Yes.
perceived
Yeah.
as women are come across as angry, where men are more just passionate.
More
about stuff.
passionate about it.
Right.
I agree that is a double standard. I think that society has put it in place to where they say women should be seen and not heard, and that kind of philosophy, or that they should act in a certain way, ladylike and all that kind of stuff. But the minute they step up to try and get the things that they want, or speak out for things that should be spoken out for, then they get seen as, like you said, aggressive, a bitch,
Yeah.
or hostile, or people are not understanding what the hell is going on. You need to just worry about smiling more instead of speaking your opinion. That's what I think.
I think that a lot of societal standards are kind of wrapped in this too, because like you said, women are, I'm air quoting, guys, supposed to be seen and not heard, or whatever the case may be, and it's not real. Like it's a very unrealistic expectation of anybody, even a child. So you think about just being considered aggressive or angry, and I don't even have any idea why someone would think that, because I don't care. If you mad, you mad. Like,
Yeah.
if some guy's mad, he's mad. If he's aggressive, he's aggressive. If he is passionate, he's passionate. Like, you don't get to pick a specific type of emotion based off of your gender.
Yeah. Although I think some of that's changed now. I think now whenever we see guys doing certain things, we call them a dick. You're like, well, you don't have to be a dick about it. Like I hate that guy. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Is he on his period or something like that? That's what I don't know. I think it's changing a little bit. What you think, Jarvis?
I mean, personally, I like an aggressive woman. You know what I mean? I like a woman that's going to step up and take charge and be, not afraid to speak her mind and stand up for herself, because, I do, right? So you can't just sit around being sad or feeling sorry for yourself or just letting people walk all over you. That's, to me, like, that's unattractive. So I'm all for it. Like, call it what you want to call it, but women should be just as passionate or just as aggressive as men going after what they want, like you said.
That fire is great.
Fire does something for me. I like it.
Well, I guess that brings us, this is a shoot or a spin-off of this, since we pretty much agree on that one. I have a female friend who has said that she believes, just based on the guys that she deals with, that guys do not like smart women, because she's a professional, and she feels like guys do not want anything to do with a smart woman. They want a woman who's not as intelligent or who is not as outspoken. And my thing to her was, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong or if you disagree, I said there's a difference between not wanting someone who is smart or wanting to be with somebody who feels like they're right all the time. Because you can be smart all day long, but if you feel like whenever we get into an argument or whenever we're talking about something, you're the only one that's right in your opinion, then I don't really want to be involved in that, because at that point you can't see things my way.
Yes, I think those are two completely different things.
Exactly.
So, and I think if you talk about being the no one wants to know it all around them. Even if you know everything, you don't want someone to be the one that's always like, oh, well, you didn't know that? It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know what this is. But when it comes to someone who does say that men don't want smart women, I think there's a deeper, darker criminal link, as I've heard someone else say before. And
it's like figuring out what they got going on.
Exactly. It's like there's you don't want someone to figure out what the fuck you're doing, then you gotta avoid the ones that can figure it out, because there's a lot of shit that's done in the dark, but if you're dealing with a dummy, they won't see it. But if you're dealing with somebody who got some common sense and they are assertive, they are passionate, and they do know what the fuck is going on, they're gonna call you on your shit. And if you don't want to be accountable, then you avoid the ones that will hold you accountable, and typically those are considered the smart women.
Right.
And I have to say to your friend who, you started off talking about, she's looking for the wrong kind of men. Because if that's the men that she's finding and attracted to, that are intimidated by her smarts or whatever you want to call it, her assertiveness, then she needs to be looking for a different type of man, because somebody's going to appreciate that.
Well, here's the thing, and you're right, and I've told her that as well, because she's one of those women that have a certain type of man that they always want. Like, they got to be X amount of high, they got to have this amount, this title behind their name and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, well, if you keep fishing in the same pond, I think you're going to keep grabbing the same kind of fish out there. So, okay, cool. Well, we agree with that. And plus, you want somebody who is smart and who is going for theirs, because they make you better. They're not going to allow you to just sit on your laurels and not want to do better for yourself either.
I got to say, I was with someone. I don't think she's going to listen. She's dumb. You know what I mean? I'm just going to say it. And like there were times where like I'd want to have a conversation about something. I'd be like, "Hey, did you hear about? You know what? Never mind. What did you want to eat for dinner tonight? You know what I mean? Like, and, and I hated that. Like
that should go straight to dinner. You know what? Just what are we eating?
Yeah. Just, did you see the pretty rainbow outside earlier? But again, like the woman that I'm with now, like she's very intelligent, she's very outspoken, she's very assertive with what
shameless plug.
I was about to say he's plugging like, here, lady.
She like
if you out there,
I can have conversations with her about deep things, about like, we can talk politics, we can talk, current events, we can talk about books that we've read, we can talk about, I read an article, this is what I took from it, read the same thing and tell me about it.
Right.
And I love that, right? Like that level of conversation.
There's layers to the relationship.
Very fulfilling to me to be able to have that conversation and not have to hold back or dumb things down like I've done in the past.
For a dummy.
I'm probably coming off sounding terrible right now, but it is what it is.
I mean, if you have to dumb it down, if anytime where you feel like you can't be yourself, you have to be elementary with somebody, I think that's a fucking problem. Yeah. Especially if you're educated or you have life experiences, and it's like, I'm keeping up with this stuff. Why the hell can't you keep up with this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between talking to somebody about everyday, regular shit that everybody encounters versus, I want to talk to you about the specifics of my job. They may be like, I don't give a fuck what you. I don't know what you do. Like, I'm glad you get a paycheck because I ain't trying to hold you down for forever.
Right.
But no, I'm not. That's very, very different than you want to talk about how someone felt about something or this or that or politics or current events. It's two totally different things.
Yeah. Two different things. All right. Well, I think we beat that one to the wind. What's our next one?
You want again?
Insert drum roll. Drum roll.
That was the FaceTime thing.
I liked it.
The word of the day is situationships.
Situationships. All right.
Did Coley write all these?
I think she did.
This penmanship's a little bit better than the last one, but maybe it's because she fit so many words on a tiny spot.
Yeah, this last card was literally a 1 inch by 1 inch chit.
I was like,
and it's got 75,000 words in 0.2 font.
Somebody was putting a quote on that motherfucking paper.
A Maya Angelou quote specifically.
Situationships. First off, do y'all think for the people out there in in radio land or podcast land. Situationships are not full-blown relationships, but they are things that you're involved heavily with someone.
Enjoying each other's company.
Enjoying each other's company, almost with relationship qualities to it. And
probably based a lot on convenience.
Yeah.
Relationship perks.
And maybe on the outside looking in, if people didn't know any better, they might say y'all was in a relationship if you didn't tell them you weren't. Mm-hmm. So, first off, do y'all believe situationships are a real thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're definitely a real thing.
Yep.
Right? But I gotta be honest, I'm too old for that stuff now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's something 20s, college, 20s, whatever.
Once you hit 51.
Yeah, right.
You ready for the
Once
family?
you get that AARP
you ready for the
card,
family and kids and everything like that?
Right.
Exactly.
It's a placeholder, right? I don't think that it's anything meaningful or whatever. Like you said, it's just the relationship perks without the title.
Yep. Right.
Also, could very well mean you're scared, right? Like scared to jump in, make the commitment, but
which is telling us something completely different.
Right.
And so I think situationships, they have their time and their place. I know there was a time in my life where I had plenty of different situationships, but it was all the ones that ended bad were the ones that we didn't acknowledge were situationships versus the ones where we kind of like, listen, we're just kicking it and we know we're kicking it. And if anything develops from here, we got to have some kind of conversation about it because we ain't trying to go down that path. And you think that this is something that it's not, because typically in situationships, one person, if you guys are on the same page, one person falls into feelings before the other one does. And you can really care for someone as a human being, but you may not love them or want to even be with them.
Exactly.
And without that level of communication, you can hurt somebody's feelings really easily and not even know you're doing it.
I'd say the majority of them end because one person catches feelings when the other one has no interest to.
Oh, yeah.
I think for me, situationships, I don't know if it's necessarily about a scared thing. I lean more towards in a comfort thing. I'm a creature of habit. And it's one of those things where it's like, we have a good thing going. I don't necessarily want to take that next step, but I do enjoy the perks of it. I do like being able to come up and lay up whenever I want to. I do like the fact that sometimes, hey, you might cook for me a little bit. I do like access to a warm snatch or a warm leg whenever I can get to it or whatnot. But I think you're absolutely right. As you get older, at some point, people are going to want more. And so you can't be stringing people along because you can hinder somebody's future having them locked up in a damn situationship for 7 years.
Exactly.
So
common law situationship.
What y'all doing? We just in a situationship for 20 years?
37 kids
Are you
later.
in the wheel? No. I'm not in the wheel.
So since it is a Battle of the Sexes episode,
Yes.
what do you think is more common? The woman catches feelings first and the man runs, or vice versa?
I think it's more common that the woman catches the relationship. I only say that because I think that with men, it's more so. At first, it starts out, I believe, as more of a physical type thing that you can get out of this, whether it's either spending that time or having sex or whatever that you're getting out of it. While with women, a lot of them are thinking more long term. Like, I'm trying to connect with someone. Can I see myself with this person 20 years from now? Can I see myself giving this man or whatever a baby and going forward from there? So they're not going to be attached to something for so long as just a physical thing without it starting to affect their mind and thinking, what the hell are we doing right now? That's where that question comes from.
So I think it's funny because for a long time in my life, I was the opposite. So I would be the one to catch feelings first, but you just try to play it cool. And it wasn't like I gave some chick some ultimatum. It's either me or nothing. It wasn't anything like that. But there's been plenty of times when I knew for a fact that she is more into playing around outside of the world, and I was really like, damn, like I really fuck with this chick. But I've also been labeled a serial monogamist over these years, and so all of my friends have told me this. So like that's just something I was kind of wired towards. So I would think relationship from jump, like, oh, I make somebody, oh damn, it'd be really cool to hang out with. I can hang out with them more often, and then my brain goes all the way down this long path, and then summer '08 happened, and life just shifted in a positive way.
Summer '08.
Summer '08 was a great summer. It was a great. For those of you out there who don't know, summer 2008 was an epic year for a lot of people that I know, and some people weren't actually there, even though they were there. Some people don't remember most of it, but we can feel it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's funny because I was thinking, like, as you were saying that, I was thinking the same thing you just said. Like, I'm kind of more of a serial monogamist, and I would always be the one that caught feelings first. And
man, y'all some old lovey-dovey tight. I just want to give it a whirl. Which might be the reason. Which might be the reason why you're married, you're in a deep relationship, and I'm still out here trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay these student loans. So, I mean, go ahead.
And that's why I mean, like, the situationship thing never really. I mean, like I said, I've never been in one. I've definitely been in a couple at least, but never super appealing to me, because I did want something that was going to lead to something else. And I mean, not necessarily marriage or whatever, but a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
Something where we were going to see if we were going to build on it or, see where it was going. So that, I feel better that you said that.
You're welcome.
Sometimes it takes one, right? All it takes one to raise their hand. I'm still sitting in my seat only because... I guess for me, I've always put other things before seeing what the next step was going to be, i.e. a relationship. Mm-hmm. So I was fine with the bare minimum of just whatever I can get out of this. It's comforting for me, and I don't want anything that's going along with having to deal with the relationship and all the stuff that comes with that. It's easier to walk away from a situationship than locking yourself into a relationship. I'm not saying it's not easy to walk away from a relationship, but I'm just saying, it's a lot easier for me to claim, hey, we're not in a relationship right now if something bad goes on, in comparison to if you're in a relationship.
It's not like I'm your boyfriend.
Yeah, but truth be told, I found that, and this is again my experience, that I leveled up in everything across the board when I found the right person to level up with. Because beforehand, I was too busy trying to figure out this person or not working on myself and all this other stuff. But it's like when I met my now wife, she wasn't out here trying to make me be a better me, but she kind of filled in certain things and like maybe start thinking about things differently. And to me, that kind of opened up my eyes to some other things. But I was always, I ain't getting in a relationship till I do this. I ain't getting in a relationship till I do that. And then I would do the one thing that I mentioned, and then I would go jump in a relationship. But I didn't take the time to find the right relationship to jump in. And so then it was kind of like, why are you doing this versus why are you doing that? And then when I kind of took a step back, I was like, man, fuck this. Whatever happens, happens. We're going to just let it ride. Then things kind of started to fall into place. I mean, other shit fell off, but the important things kind of started to fall into place.
Gotcha. So it sounds like what you're saying is you found the right person, or you took a chance and you didn't have to worry about being in a situationship because you found somebody that didn't want to make you be in a situationship. And
she also didn't force me to be in a relationship. So for the longest, and not to make this a shout out to my wife podcast.
I know y'all plugging real hard over it right now. Jarvis is doing everything but about to propose over the fucking podcast. Baby turned into about 30:03.
Yeah. He walked in playing "Kiss Me Through the Phone," but she never forced me one way or the other. And so we started off as a situationship, but we also had a very clear conversation about what it was. And it was like, I understand you got other things going on. You understand I got other things going on. But there is a level of understanding as to what we are doing.
Gotcha.
And that's just what it was. And then it kind of got to a point where I think we both caught feelings at the same time. But then I was like, let's just stop playing. Let's just do this shit. And then
we know we want to be together. We might as well
do it. And then here we are, X amount of years later.
Ooh. Well, we got time, I think, for maybe one more, unless y'all want to continue on. I think this has been very good discussions here.
I think we can do one more.
All right.
So, this women expecting men to give them gifts to show love.
I think that's expected. I think that's true.
I think it depends.
So,
I think women expect men to, or if they have figured out what their love language is,
right.
Women expect men, and I'm assuming men expect women to give them whatever fills their love tank to show that they love them. Because, I mean, that's really what it is. Because you could buy some chicks stuff all day, every day, and it's never enough. Because that's not really what she wants. Because you could buy her, you got this Louis bag, you got these Prada this, and you got all this other stuff. But she's always mad because you want to go hang out with your friends. Because her love language is quality time or something like that. So
maybe
I ain't buying gifts.
Maybe it shouldn't be gifts. Maybe it's they expect men to do romantic gestures. and that can encompass a whole lot. And that goes back to our very first battle of the sexes that we talked about. Like you said, figuring out whatever it is that your lady or your wife likes. It may not necessarily be a gift. It may be just something as simple as, I don't know, cooking her dinner at night.
I mean, it ain't even got to be your lady or your wife. It could be some bitches you fucking. Like, truth be told, like.
Well, we not doing gifts if it's just somebody you just fucking.
Some people do it. Some people expect you to do it. It's like,
sugar daddy type.
We've been fucking for however long. And here, it's my birthday. You're not gonna give me nothing.
Valentine's
Day.
I say my presence is your present.
It's your present.
Yeah, you just show up with a dick in the box, and that's supposed to be your present. It's like, nah.
Dick off.
So let's look at it the other way too, though. Like, how do men feel about women who expect gifts to give love? You know what I mean? Like they do it, like they give out love, quote unquote, or not. You know, like literal or figurative, but like because they want gifts, or you know, they trade
that falls into my I don't trust people category.
Yeah.
They asked that again. So they expect men.
So women that expect gifts and exchange gifts for
the love that they're giving,
the love they're giving,
or the physical love part of it. Like I'm not gonna fuck him unless I get that Prada bag.
That sounds like prostitution. Is that prostitution?
Yeah, but it's in these streets. You know what's happening.
Yeah, right. It is in these streets. I think that it should be, in my opinion. Because I'm a giver, and a giver and a pleaser. Like I like to please people and do things. So my thinking is, I don't know if you should necessarily expect that of me. I would want to be in a position where I want to do that for you, and shower you whatever gift, whatever is going to make you that makes you feel good or feel appreciated. That's why I don't necessarily want you telling me, hey, it's Christmas time or it's Valentine's, and I expect
with a capital M.
Check your email. I got a list for you.
I sent you my Amazon list.
My wish list.
Yeah. If you don't mind.
Just input your credit card number and hit ship.
No.
Right. I mean, that goes back to, like, your trust thing, like you said. I'm not, like, once I figure out that's what's going on, I'm out. You know. Yeah,
if I know that you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then it's not, to me, it's not genuine, and I don't want it. But, I mean, now let's say you dealing with some chick and she's like, oh, can you grab me some food on your way over here? And you get some food and she's like, bet, thank you for this Chick-fil-A. I'm about to do a somersault on your dick tonight.
That's a lot different.
And,
that is a lot different.
Appreciation for you looking out. Like that's very different than being like, oh, you didn't buy me no nuggets. The spicy nuggets are back. You ain't buy me no nuggets.
Forgot Polynesian sauce.
Exactly. No puss for you.
Exactly. Chick-fil-A. All right, what's the time is? We can do one more. Let's do one more. All
right.
Damn, because they did like what 4
topics? They did like
35
topics.
Maybe?
Okay, well we got time for another one.
Why not? Who gonna check me?
Sexuality being a spectrum.
That is what? Oh, these are battle of the sexes. What does that mean?
I mean,
saying how your freak factor, like what's your freak level,
it's like
or
like being bi, or being like you're attracted to men, women, chickens, goats, bedposts.
It's more than just binary. I'm attracted to one thing. Right. It can be a spectrum to say I can be a little bit attracted to something else, or a lot of bit attracted to something else.
Got you.
No, but I just think that it has a little bit more to do with what you're interested in. And for the sakes of this podcast, I'm keeping it specifically on like what you want to fuck and not who you want to date, because that gets into a whole different conversation that I'm not very well versed in, so I don't want to speak to it. But from this vantage point, if you're saying like, oh, okay, for instance, like dudes who like to get pegged. Everyone knows what pegging is?
Yes. Fuck.
Unfortunately, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, like, for a straight man to come in and say, hey, boo, I got something special for you. And she's like, oh, you about to tear me up with this? He's like, no. You are going to tear me up.
I call it Molnier.
Exactly. So I think that is a small subset to something being like on a spectrum, because unfortunately enough, what someone enjoys sexually gets thrown into their sexuality. So just because a man likes to get pegged by his girl, that doesn't make him gay.
Got you.
So that's how I look at it.
Okay. This was a hard one to pull out. Thank you for that one. Literally.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since you led off with it, what are your thoughts on the sexuality being a spectrum? besides for your explanation?
Oh, I thought that was me leading it off. I think it is. And I think it just depends. Okay. My spectrum is very boring. I'm 100% one way and 0% the other way. But for someone else, I don't know.
Okay, so you're not trying to bring in the millionaire and be pegged or anything. Okay, gotcha.
I'm okay with that.
Jarvis, you trying to get pegged or what?
Peg free zone over here, my
friend. Peg free zone.
Yeah, hard no on that. But the sexuality being on a spectrum thing, like I get it. I guess like you said, I'm 100% one way, 0% the other. But I understand because people have a type, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But some people's types are much, much broader, and some people don't have a type at all. Some people want to let that freak flag fly all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They just want to get it in, get a nut, get out, and they don't care where it comes from.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally.
Right. And so, dude today, chick tomorrow, 2 chicks and a dude the next night, whatever it is.
Yeah.
As long as they're getting theirs, they don't care. Mm-hmm. Right? And I get that. That could be whatever. More power to them. That opens up the dating pool 1,000%, or whatever, by 100%. You're doubling the dating pool.
Yeah.
When you're open to anything. So more chances, more options, more nuts. You do you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy, right?
Right.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna jump in and say I'm 100% one way and 0 on the other. I'm not trying to get pegged or anything like that.
You ain't trying to find peg the stallion?
We did forget to ask you. Yeah.
I'm not trying to find peg the stallion. I don't want any of that. But then, at the same time, like you said, there are people out there that enjoy that kind of stuff. And then you have to have that understanding with whoever you're going into your relationship with, that, hey, this is something that I really like to do. And I roll over here sometimes just so you don't catch anybody off guard. I have. Wow. Okay.
Can we get it? I just really want to find one ignorant one before we leave.
Yeah, let's get an ignorant one.
I would love a good ignorant one. Because these have all been great. Thank you, Coley, for your beautiful penmanship, your calligraphy, if you will. But I want something a little bit more ignorant. Yeah, there's nothing real
there's nothing crazy.
Next level in here. It's like communion.
What about
safe.
What about? How far is too far with the freakiness, or what? I
guess that's what I kind of thought that freak factor was with the whole, what are you willing to try with your freaky, not necessarily sexuality, but what things are you willing to pull in?
Okay, how about this? What do you do when you're with some chick and she bad? She's everything you want her to be. She's down. She's gushing. The faucet is on. And then she tells you she wants to do something. And you're you've never done it before. Maybe not necessarily you don't want to do it. So it's not I'm trying to fuck you in the ass. But it's something that you're kind of I don't know. Do you just try it? Or do you play it safe?
I am a person who believes in trying anything within reason at least once. So depending on what it is that she's trying to try, so she's let me tie this belt around your neck and choke the shit out of you while I'm riding it type thing, I'd have to be
there's a word for that.
Is there asphyxiation or something like that?
Yeah, something.
As long as I got a knife or something to cut just in case it's a murder scene. I don't know, it just depends on what it is, but I'm down with trying shit.
See, my thought on that is, yeah, it's fun. Let's try it. There's I'm not gonna say everything, but there's a lot of stuff that I'd be willing to try that I probably haven't done before. But I'm also, if it's her idea, she's I love this.
Yeah.
What the fuck you been doing?
That is the question.
So depending on how I feel about the girl, and where we are in our relationship and that kind of thing, I might be what the fuck, whoa, and then I might just lose the whole motivation.
It became out of nowhere, right?
And I'm what the fuck did you? Where did you learn that?
Exactly.
We in church. What are you talking about?
Clutches pearls.
Did you see that on a laptop, or is this an actual thing? If you have experience with this,
I remember some years and years and years and years and years ago. Okay. Specify somebody
summer 2008.
Post summer 2008, but pre that swipe. Somebody asked me, "Oh, you never had your ass ate?" And I was like, no, I have not. And she was like, really? I always eat ass when I suck dick. And I was like, I don't know whose dick you're sucking on in these streets. But I've never had my ass eaten to be better, but I'm okay with not having that.
You said you've never had it.
No, I've never had it, and I also am okay with the fact that I've never had it. It's kind of like how I feel about cocaine. You know, I like how it smells, but I don't necessarily want to try it.
Well, first off, you don't know what you're missing really with the goddamn ass eating thing. Have you had your ass ate?
It is shocking how much Naji and I have in common.
Apparently, y'all are two sides of the same goddamn coin. It is. I can't describe the feeling. First off, it's very weird. It's like
having your legs by your ankle, by your ears.
Don't do it like that. But I just. It's very weird. It's like, are you fucking puppy? Like, what the fuck is going on down there? Like, but it's weird. I don't want to say I would suggest it at least once, but you know, it's a weird feeling. It's not crazy.
I will say too. I think like all the cultural normity of it or normalization of it has made it a lot more common. And again, like, how old are you?
32.
Okay, see, I'm 36, right? And when I was growing up and doing the freaky things that I did in the past, that wasn't out there.
Right.
You know?
Wasn't out there for me either.
Yeah, they weren't. They were. Yeah, I mean, and like they weren't. That wasn't in the hip hop songs. It wasn't in the
eating that voodoo like groceries.
Yeah, exactly. Like that stuff wasn't out there. Nobody was talking about it. So there's probably more of a stigma for my generation for it. Not that I would, even if it was like it is now and it's okay. Like I'm like, nah, you good? Like I don't need that. Like I'm all right. Like it's been working just fine for me the way that it has been.
Exactly.
Like, I'm
Let me
good.
do you.
Right. And so yeah, but I think that like maybe for the kids these days, for the youth out there, they think it's okay to just eat that ass. Like let's
or get that ass eaten.
Yeah, let's.
Well, you know, the thing about it, and this is not justifying why I got my ass ate, but we were coming up in a time where it's like we were right in the edge where we were old fashioned to this new age with all this technology and people seeing other things that people had going on and society kind of like changing a little bit. So it's like, I'm sure like with Naji, with us being the same age, there's some things where we can still say, you know, hey, we ain't doing it when we were coming up. And at the same time, we can be a lot more accepting because we've had some different experiences.
And seen it on the internet.
Or something like that. So I don't know. That's it. Let's get out of that.
And I will just say also, I'm not here to judge. You do you.
Right.
It makes you happy. I'm all for it. Get on that spectrum.
I'm being vulnerable, bro.
Hey,
I was going to take my glasses off, but I'm real vulnerable.
Listen, as long as you're not doing it to yourself, we are.
Wow.
Have at it.
Talent.
That's some Marilyn Manson cutting the ribs out.
Some
y'all
ribs
remember that? Cutting his ribs out to do whatever? No. Well, look, I think we've gotten through quite a bit of the topics. That was actually a very good conversation.
Let's not tell anybody that we look through other stuff. Let's leave that part out until they hit a podcast. Oh. Okay. So
sorry, Coley.
So look.
Sorry, not sorry.
Hope y'all had a very good time with this. Look, the girls are going to be the young ladies are going to be responding in 2 weeks to some of the things that we've said. Don't forget to catch our last episode. Per my email has come out. Naji's been on that one as well. He's been warming that seat up and giving us some good words of wisdom. Once again, Jarvis, thank you again for sitting in with us.
Had a blast. This is a lot of fun.
Hope you come back. You know, we'll definitely. Hey, if you want to be on the response episode for when the girls respond, we'd love to have you back on that too. If you can find time for a little of us.
Let's find the time.
Naji, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
This has been Knights of the Round Table. We're signing off. Y'all be good to yourselves. I think that's what Coley said.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other.
Be good to yourselves and good to each other. And y'all have a very good night. Ow!